I've been accosted here at the start of this podcast.
Nah, because he was like, oh, you're jealous of my hourglass, my dragon hourglass.
I know you're jealous about it. It's so good, Matt.
This
so
is
high quality.
This is the second time this has happened. This is the second time this has happened.
Are you thinking about the pocket watch thing?
Yes, I'm thinking about the pocket watch.
Do you want to describe to people what the hell we're talking about?
Well, ArenaNet sent out to Richie for the third billion time, and to Win Potatoes, a nice item. Last time it was a pocket watch. It had like engraving. Watch. You didn't get any. Yeah, you didn't get a pocket watch. I didn't get a pocket watch either. I even said on Guildcast, I was like, "Where's my pocket watch at?" And developers actually listened to that, so it was interesting for them not to even tweet anything. I wonder if someone hates me there.
Dude, you're too insecure. What is this? I'm sure it was just a delivery thing.
I'm in podcast mode. I'm joking around. But here, I want to send you a link. I want to send you a link.
Okay. Right.
Click that link and tell me what you think.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. So what Matt has just linked me is the thing that ArenaNet gave out, which I am hyped about and so happy, and it was so unexpected for me because I don't even do videos where I like film myself. So it's not like I could put this in a video. And they gave it anyway, and I was really happy. But people have pointed out that what they're giving out is essentially just something you buy on Amazon, and it said made in China on it. I don't know. It's still cool, though, right?
Just like the pocket watch, though, as well.
Or was the pocket watch the same? Well, the thing is, what you buy on Amazon here, okay, is the dragon egg timer or whatever. But what I currently have in my hand, okay, pretty big, very heavy, is a really heavy, like, block of, like, serious marble. And the engraving on it, which says, "I've known since the moment we heard the roar," spoken by the pale tree of the Silvarian. It's got the Living World Guild Wars 2 logo and stuff on it. This, I think, is the custom thing, the special thing about it, right? Like the mount that it comes on.
They take it in and they do their own thing, just like the watch. They engrave the back and stuff like that.
Right? Yeah. So it is probably some. I mean, how much did this cost? Oh, it's still $20. Would you consider that tacky or decent?
I don't say it's tacky. I think it's
okay.
I wouldn't say it's tacky at all. Because they do their own stuff to it. You know, even though I'm jealous, I'm not gonna harp on it.
Oh, there it is. You're jealous. There it is.
Of course I'm jealous.
That's all I wanted.
I mean, to be honest, really, you know, I haven't done Guild Wars 2 videos in a while because of kind
snap.
of yeah.
Whoa.
So I guess that would mean something. But even back then, when I was doing a lot of Guild Wars 2 videos, like that was my life. I still didn't get a pocket watch. So I'm pointing my hands at the ArenaNet people who listen to this podcast.
The pocket watch was really cool as well.
It was.
That was like something really cool. It was all like proper clockwork apparently. Like I don't know. I didn't get one, but apparently it really was. I don't know. I mean, it's nice. I'm sure that they just have a quota to fill. One person in Europe, one person in the US, and
they pick Richie.
Yeah, well, he just got the coin toss.
He's gonna send me a nice little Skype message saying ha ha ha. Just like he always.
I'm surprised he hasn't already.
Hey, I'm surprised too. Usually Richie likes to, he likes to be competitive with the old MattVisual. So he's probably listening to this.
One day when yours comes, you can be like, nah. Nah,
probably.
As I'm now doing.
Richie will always get one. He's like basically PR, I think.
Wow, dude. Gee, you realize we're on air right now, yeah?
What do you mean? How's that bad? I didn't say anything bad.
That's so rude.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You're just making him sound like a shill for Guild Wars 2.
No, because he used to write for Massively and stuff.
Right,
so he's on the mailing list. Like he is, like the PR guy. Not PR guy, but you know what I mean. The guy who makes videos about, you know what? You're making me dig a hole.
If you're
I'm
happy
slowly
to put this
suffocating as the dirt fills my lungs. I'm gonna just move on.
Yeah. Do you want to do the intro? Actually, can I do the intro?
All right. You know what? Go ahead.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the VisualWood podcast episode. Oh wait, I don't remember what episode it is.
Oh, I see what you did there. Episode 49. Next episode is going to be 50. Should we do something special for 50?
It's episode 50 right now.
No, it's not.
Episode 49 was Echoes of the Sunset Beyond.
No, it was
week.
not. No, it wasn't.
Dude, it was. I'm looking at it right now.
We're
episode 50 right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. We should do something special for 56 because that's like a year of Guild Wars 2.
Did I mess up somewhere? In my files, it says 48 was last episode. That was weird. All right, so episode number 50. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Well, so as everybody can tell from
somehow.
This, yeah, as everyone can tell, we have prepared something special. This did not catch us by surprise. We were totally ready for this.
Yes.
And that special thing, I think you were telling me before the podcast you're going to do a song for us, right, Matt?
Excuse me?
And there's going to be no instrumentals or anything? You're just going to sing it from the soul?
Right.
About the podcast and all the wonderful times that we've had?
Okay.
My favorite thing to do is just like try and put you on the spot. Dude, I would just buckle so hard if I had to do something like that. It's like worst nightmare level stuff.
It's like you're standing on the stage. Standing on the stage and you're like, oh, I forgot my lines.
Yeah.
And that moment where everything slows down and you're like, oh my God, what's the next line? What is the next line? What is the next line? As people look at you and, turn their head a little bit like, what's wrong with this kid?
It's worse when you realize, like, really in advance, like, you know that the next verse is coming up and you've just realized you can't remember, like, the penultimate line of that verse. And as you're singing through it, you're slowly panicking and then you get to that line and and he said, it's like, oh my God. It's okay though, because famous people now, they just have pre-recordings, right? Like, they don't actually sing on the stages because you don't need talent anymore.
Well, some people still sing. But yeah, some people do.
It's all a lie, man. Nobody.
They have it in the back. They have it in the background, so just in case they kind of, I guess not slur a word, but like lose breath. The audio in the back kind of like brings it.
Oh, do you know what really shocked me? Is it T-Pain that does a lot of auto-tune?
Yeah, he got famous for that.
Yeah, right? And so you'd expect he has no talent, right? You'd expect he's a bit of a hack. You'd expect that he just got in through the industry through contacts or whatever and stuff. But there's a video that went up on YouTube the other day where he was like at some... You know when authors go to like a book shop and they just sit there and they just read their material or something? He basically did something on the same level as that. Went into some small, low-key area, brightly lit during the middle of the day, and sang a bunch of his songs, but with no auto-tune at all. And the guy has a godly voice.
Yeah.
He sounds amazing. He's incredible.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I just use the auto-tune out of choice. And suddenly it's like, wow, my respect for this person. Not that I ever really thought about my respect for him before, but it goes through the roof. I couldn't believe it. So happy to see that guy.
Yeah, I seen that a couple years back, and I was like, oh. Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm behind the times there. Jeez.
I was like,
it's been known he's had talent.
Yeah. It's weird. It's just like, okay, T-Pain. I think he does a little bit more than just music as well. I think does he do some producing as well? He might.
You know who else is like really similar to that? Not singing, but acting. Megan Fox, like, I think she's just such an incredible actress, and everybody says, oh, she's not a good actress. Look at her in TMNT. She was never looking at the turtles.
We really need face cam because I need to see how straight your face is while saying that.
What? I think she's a very talented, wonderful woman.
Right.
I did read that comment in the comment sections last week, though, where someone said, oh no, they actually did have people representing the turtles IRL, and she still couldn't play off of them.
4 people standing right in front of her. It's weird because there was this scene with the rat, and she wasn't looking at the rat. Like her eyes were off to the side.
Maybe the guy was stood off to the side, and then later on they were like,
they added it in. Because I know they had to do a lot of like fixes to the story and everything like that. So there was a lot of cutting and stuff, and it really does show.
Do you think we'll ever get to the point where, like with CGI, you know how you say she wasn't looking at the rat? What if they can, through CGI, like actually move her eyes? Like if she's a bad actress, use CGI to make her a good actress. How close to that do you think we are?
I don't think we're close enough to do that for Megan Fox. I think technology will never be at the point that we can do that.
Well, it's like, again, with the Halo MCC, I was looking at the cutscenes that they've done. They look so realistic. Cortana is completely fake. Everything about her, it's all pure CGI, I guess. Maybe.
And it looks so good, though.
And so subtle. Oh,
you see, the second trailer, she looks a lot better. because in the first trailer she looks a little bit weird. She looks like a real version of how Cortana is supposed to look in, well, not supposed to look,
Halsey.
But like she look all right. Like the old graphics, she looks like a real person of that, right? And that's not how Cortana is like in later on in like Halo 4 and stuff. Like she gets, I guess, as the years go by, she becomes more sexualized,
voluptuous.
I think there was a reason behind that as well, other than trying to get little kids horny, and buy the game.
Kids, what do you
mean?
Well, look, it's teenagers that play those games. It's clearly got 16 rating, all right? 16. People 16? Don't play that game unless they hit the rating. Or 50. Is it 50?
You haven't worked at GameStop. Oh, no, my gosh. These moms don't care. These moms do not care. And it's mostly moms. Yes, it is mostly moms. They come in, they buy the next Call of Duty, and we tell them, that this is mature, for mature audience. And Call of Duty has some really, like, gory things in it. Like there was one, you remember that airport scene where they're like shooting all the people in the airport?
Right, yeah, that was really famous, right?
Yeah, and that, that's that type of stuff. I don't know, like if a 9-year-old kid will get affected by that. Every kid is different. Every kid sucks up things differently. Some kids are smarter than others and know that this is a fictional game. But some kids, together with a crazy home, it might not work so well.
See, when I was a kid, I was I wouldn't say like golden boy, but I felt really bad about stuff like swearing and, if people were smoking and drinking and stuff for quite a long time, right? And I remember one of my earliest experiences with Grand Theft Auto in particular, but playing games outside of my age range. I wasn't allowed to play like 18 rated games and stuff. I remember going to this guy's house. He was playing one of the top-down GTA games. And I was like, oh, this is really bad. I shouldn't be watching this or whatever. And he was running over people on the street. And back then, obviously, the graphics were so primitive, they would just like fall over, go, ah! And then like there'd be a blood splat or whatever. Right. And so that didn't really affect me. But I wonder now, when you do have these really realistically created scenes like the airport scene, whether actually it is now... Because my opinion now as an adult is I actually don't care that much. I think a 9-year-old could probably handle a lot of stuff, but maybe I'm wrong about that, because now things are that much more realistic.
What I've learned is it's different strokes for different folks. Like some kids are different. Some kids are a little bit more mature than others. Some of them, it really acts as a gateway as well. Like not like, oh, they're going to start murdering people. Of course not. Like video game and violence, let's come on. No, that's not true. But for kids, they're very impressionable. It might get them interested into other subjects and stuff like that. I don't know if it's different for me. I played Grand Theft Auto when I was young. It did not bother me not one bit. Not one bit. I didn't change or anything like that. The only thing that happened when I was young when it came down to Grand Theft Auto was I got more interested into porn, which is
really
which is bad. Yeah,
where's the line of thinking there from the early Grand Theft Auto?
Because you could do like prostitute stuff as a kid. Like you don't know any of this stuff. Like it really does, and that's like a sort of gateway thing as well.
So funny. Okay.
Yeah. Well. Wow. Yeah, hey. I'm just being real.
After I played Amnesia, I got really into torture, and I bought all this gear, and I was gonna start doing it, and then I realized it was a bit too expensive and also illegal and a bit risky, so I stopped. But, that's an example of a video game having a terrible influence on me. And I was an adult at the time. Think about all the kids that played Amnesia, saw all the torture things, and tried it out on people at school. It's not good. I think people are right when they put massive censorship on video games. No.
Such a weak games like Postal, where they're like it's just ridiculously gory. I really don't think, like, I don't know, like people see me go in a weird area, but I just don't think that someone will start killing someone just because they do it in a game. It never happens.
Gore realism's always really weird as well, isn't it? Because it's like, in a video game, if it's really, really gory, it's ridiculously over the top, explosions of blood and mess and stuff everywhere. And then, like, in real life, often things aren't actually that gory. But then also, sometimes in real life, things are way more gory than you'd expect. It's just weird. Like, there is no one-for-one matchup for how things really are in games anyway. So, I don't know. I don't even know if you can claim stuff's that realistic, Because it's also, guns are awesome, big flashing lights, whatever.
But something I would like to be realistic is the donut that you were having just a minute ago.
All right. Okay. So Matt wanted to talk about a donut. The reason I said earlier was, when was the last time you ate a donut? By the way.
I usually try to have a donut. Publix has some really good like donuts that they make from scratch, and I tend to grab some every time I have like one of those days where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sneak in something I've been really wanting to eat for a while. So it's every few months I might sneak one in.
So when you think of donut, though, describe to me what's in your mind. If I just say donut, the first thing that comes to your mind. I appreciate you probably know there are varieties of donuts, but what's the first one that comes?
Here in America, Krispy Kreme is very popular, but the first thing that comes into my mind, even though when I think of a donut, I do think of Krispy Kreme's glazed, regular shaped donut.
Glazed, yeah.
Here, I think about like apple fritters and chocolate-covered tops donuts.
All right, but what's the shape of these donuts?
The fritter is like it's not a shape, it's more like a piece of, like if you were to poop on the ground, that would be the shape of a fritter.
What?
Yeah.
Are we talking about like fake, like whipped cream kind of style dog poo?
Yeah. Well, like if you were to mix up dough and you were to put it on a pan, but without shaping it, that's how it would look like.
In like a big ball.
Not a ball, but like more of like a broken ball, like it's milking out the sides.
Oh, it sounds good. What about, okay, so what's the shape of the other donuts you talked about?
Well, the chocolate one, I can go through a lot of them because I have different ones. Like, I don't just get Krispy Kreme and call it a day.
Yeah.
I get like French twist, I think it's called.
Okay.
It's like no, I'll figure out a name in a sec. But I also get like the filling, the dulce de leche, the jelly donuts, the sugary powder donuts, the ones with the chocolate on top, the twist as well, and French cooler. That's what it's called.
Dude, you're astonishing me right now. What are all these donuts? I don't know this much about
French
donuts.
cruller. French cruller.
I know you can buy like those classy like
donut. Okay, French crullers are amazing.
Do you have like those boxes of like 12 variety donuts?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing.
I've gotten.
Yeah, okay. So for me and many British people, okay, donut. The first thing we think of isn't like a glazed thing necessarily. It's not like a ring. That was what I was fishing for, hoping you'd say just like a ring donut, right, with a hole in the middle. It's not that. Basically, for us, you get like dough, right? You like deep fat fry that dough or whatever. Like you fry the dough in giant big balls. So like you've got a big ball of dough, then you put like powdery sugar all around it, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you inject into the middle of this big donut, as it now is, like a jam or some kind of flavoring, like apple jam, raspberry jam, strawberry jam, whatever kind of jam you like. And that is a donut. And then you'd buy it in like a bag of 5. Not to say we don't have other varieties of donuts, but this is the main one.
Our main one is definitely Krispy Kreme. They show you like how it's made in the background, like it's a big glass. Once you walk in, like everything's white, and then
do you have Krispy Kreme shops?
Yeah. It's just only Krispy Kreme.
What?
And you see
This is crazy.
like these huge windows into the factory in the back, and you actually see the donuts being made. It's crazy.
Wow.
And when the hot sign is on, that means it's fresh. So you will get fresh donuts, fresh from like...
Yeah, well, see, where I used to work, we would do donuts like that. And yeah, they were amazing if you bought them straight away. But it wasn't like an entire place dedicated to donuts. That's insane.
Yeah, it's called Krispy Kremes.
We can buy like those at like Tesco, but they're like bought in and they're frozen and they've been defrosted or whatever.
Oh no, dude. No, Krispy Kreme.
They still
this
taste
is America,
good.
Bro. Place where you could get fat real easily.
What other shops do you have that are like dedicated to like some... like we had a milkshake shop at one point that went bust really quick, but in it you could like choose any sweets and stuff you wanted.
Oh,
to have, like
we have a frozen yogurt place called.
Okay.
They're I think they're different franchises because they all have different names. Like Yo Mowgli, I think is what it's called, and there's another one called something else. Yogli.
That sounds way too healthy.
It is sort of. It's actually really fantastic. Like they have not Krispy Kreme. They have cookies and cream. They have cake batter. You know, all those regular things. Like they have a few from Cold Stone, which is an ice cream place, and cake batter and stuff like that. And Cold Stone is, I don't know, it's pretty good. It's pretty expensive, but then once you get that, you pay about £1 or an ounce by the ounce. And you get that. I'm messing up today. You get that, and then you could put whatever you want.
There's a lot of really angry people right now.
Yeah,
this is their favorite place.
It's just like when you when I was talking about Jack Nicholas. I know I messed that up.
And you were talking about Stanley Kubrick, who was the director that was actually abusing the woman.
Yeah, was actually abusing the woman and getting her to be afraid and act better.
Dude,
blah, blah.
I saw a whole movie that was dedicated to the analysis of The Shining.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like, there were 4 different, these are all the secret messages that this movie's trying to tell. Like, people adore that director. And really, I don't know how much of it's pretension or how much is really warranted.
But once you get your frozen yogurt, you can go and put whatever you want on it. So you could be like Butterfinger and all that stuff. And they also have like granola and
Can you bring
raisins
your own
and
stuff in?
like that. Huh?
Can you bring your own stuff in?
No.
Oh, man.
It's mostly one of those things where you come in, you get your stuff, and you walk outside and eat it. And there's this combination that I do with the frozen place with granola and something else. I don't do it in chocolate or anything.
The MattVisual combo, and you've forgotten one of the ingredients.
It's I can't remember what it is. I think it's cake batter and something else, and I put some granola on it, and it's like amazing.
Are these from your overweight days, or are these from just whenever you can?
No, like some days, I mean, eating like the way I do, sometimes I go really, really strict if I want to lose a couple pounds because I gained a couple from, sitting all day editing. You got to be very careful while sitting all day editing. I tend to treat myself, take my wife out, Marjorie, take my wife out to get something to eat and walk home, and we kind of burn some of that on the way back. But it's not crazy calories. It all depends on what you put into it, because it's there's some light choices as well that you can go with it. You can come out with a good 200, 300 calories if you manage yourself properly, and that's not too bad if you're constantly moving throughout the day and you didn't eat like pizza with ice cream,
donuts on top.
Yeah, with donuts on top. The day, a couple hours before. It's all the way. You just have to plan how much calories you intake throughout the day. Yeah.
So during the week, since we're on this topic, during the week I saw something pretty interesting. I use a standing desk. I'm on my standing desk right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, helps to keep yourself in shape for all those editing hours or whatever. Well, during the week I saw a really interesting product. I don't know if you've ever seen it. You might want to mute this. But it's called the Hawaii chair. And I'm thinking you should get Hawaii chairs and
test it out.
And that can be our thing. And we can rename the podcast, all right? VisualWood. It's not really going very well, is it? Instead, how about the Hawaii chair podcast? And we'll start having guests on, and you can only be a guest if you're also in a Hawaii chair. So the audio might take a bit of a hit. The audio would basically be, hey, everyone, this is the VisualWood. I don't even know if my mic's picking that up. It could be a little bit like that. But think about all the calories we'll burn using these things.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's wonderful. So for people who don't know, the Hawaii chair is a chair, just a regular chair, but the part where you have the seat, the actual part that you have your booty on, moves in a circle motion. Over and over again.
It's like you live on an earthquake. And it's supposed to be like working your core. And there's this infomercial on YouTube of these people trying to sell it, and all of them look outrageously uncomfortable. And they've all got these cheesy fake grins on their face saying, "This is the greatest thing ever. Wow, and it only costs $500 or whatever it is." It's ridiculous.
It is. It is quite ridiculous. It is quite ridiculous. I can't believe that. Anyways, what have you been playing or doing? I've been playing
the game of Let's Make My PC Work. And it's a riveting game filled with all these little mini games, such as get down on your hands and knees and in a low light environment, try to put the nail into the slot and actually screw it in. And then if you fail, you get another mini game of, oh my god, where did that screw go? Let's scramble around for it for about half an hour. Then once you're done with that side stuff, you get to play the game of, oh my god, why is Windows not booting? Why? Tearing your hair out, going into other rooms to use the internet because your computer no longer works, and just generally having a really fun time. What about you, man?
I remember that because I got a new motherboard and a new graphics card like last year, and all of a sudden my hard drive just stopped working properly. It wouldn't install Windows, blah blah blah. Like, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't start up. It would always install Windows and just would stop there and just keep trying to install Windows. And I was like, "What do you do? What are you doing?" And then I had to go downstairs and use the security guard's computer station thing.
I love how often the security guard comes up in your stories. We need him on as a guest one day. Can we stage like an accident in your apartment so that he'll have to come up? And you'll be like, "Oh, how are you doing, man? Let's come in." And then you'll be like, "Yeah, there's no accident. Why don't you sit down? I'll get you a beer or whatever." And then you'll put him on the podcast in front of the mic. And he won't know he's on the podcast. And then I'll say to him, "Hello, Mr. Security Guard. I know an awful lot about you." And it will freak him out. And it will be that week's audio adventure.
Ooh, we still haven't done one of those go out there audio adventures yet. We have to do that.
I did 2 of them.
What do you mean?
I did the one at the shops, and I did one
with the dog.
Yeah,
dog does not count.
Outside. That was outside, though.
Okay, well,
it doesn't have to be interacting with other people. I have been thinking a little bit, Matt. The audio, I wasn't going to say anything, but I do blame you a little bit for this. The quality of the audio adventures, like, look at last week's, all right? Wasn't even prepared. Ended up doing something live. I mean, that's just grabbing something in the room. That's not an adventure, is it? That you may as well just recall that. What am I holding?
So what you're saying is that we need to go on an adventure. That's what you're saying?
All right.
So
what
next
adventure
podcast,
are you proposing?
So next podcast we have to go on an adventure.
Okay.
So it's gonna be your turn. So you're gonna have to do it first.
All right. Well, okay. What qualifies as an adventure?
Do you want another human to be involved?
Is that the criteria? It has to be someone you don't know, or
I don't think it matters. I think the criteria is going outside. Let's do that. Let's start with that.
It
going
has to
outside.
be something outside.
Something outside.
So
hopefully the audio is okay.
Yeah, I mean, from that point, the thing that weirded me out, especially with the one in the shops, is I am secretly recording people and then putting them up online without their permission.
You know what? Not online. I mean, not in your house. Why did I say online? Not
it doesn't
in your
count
house.
as online if it's YouTube.
Not in your house. So it could be in someone else's house. It could be outside, a shop, anything. Just not inside of your house. Let's do that.
And it has to be with another person.
I have to do one, and you have to do one. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think you should do 2 to catch up. Oh, because I've already done that once.
I did one. I did one outside.
Oh yeah, you did. You did go to the shops as well, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
With your okay. All right. Well, do you want to cut to this week's audio adventure?
All right, let's do it.
All right, because this is going to be super high quality, right?
Absolutely.
Compared to what we were just talking about, yeah. All right. Audio adventure. I reinstalled Skype, so I don't actually know where it is. Oh, it's downloading now. Okay, brilliant.
I think you're doing good.
This could be a section, the waiting for the audio adventure to transfer.
No, this is going to get cut out.
Because we've done this so many times. Jesus. We could segue into the Goonies, because that was a bit of an adventure. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm ready. What is this? What is this? What are you doing to me? Alright, let me I'm listening to it again. Sounded a bit like you striking a match at first. Then it sounded a bit like you raking leaves in the garden. Are you shaving? Is that you shaving? Are you dry shaving?
Wow. I thought it would be easy.
Okay, alright. That sounds a lot like you shaving though. Get rid of that bum fluff. Brushing something? Alright, you gotta give me some direction here.
No. What do you mean direction? It's.
Well, look, I'm really forgiving with you when it's my audio adventure.
Well, I can hold it in my hand.
You can hold this in your hand. And is the sound I'm hearing an object interacting with itself?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Is that your first question?
Is it like scissors?
It's scissors. No.
It sounds like you're just snipping something.
It does. Really?
But you're snipping. Yeah, but it's like you're snipping through some kind of like very heavily textured thing that sounds a bit like I don't know, like hair. Oh, you're not playing with the bead thing you were talking about in the previous episode.
Bead thing?
Is it a toy?
No, it's not a toy.
It's not a toy. Damn it. Why don't you have any toys, Matt?
Because I'm a grown-up.
Because I'm an adult.
I had to use the classic response.
I don't know. I think I have to give up with this. I really don't know. You're going to have to enlighten me. I give up. I've given you quite a few guesses. A fair shot. 7 guesses.
Yeah. All right. So, I think these are called maracas.
What? No way! That is not a maraca. Why aren't you doing that noise in the audio adventure?
Because I didn't want to make it easy.
No, that isn't on. That's unfair. You gave me an instrument and I couldn't identify the sound of the instrument. Why do you have maracas? You got a story behind that?
I don't know. They have like elephant. Not elephant. They have like what? What is wrong with me today? And they have like African like symbols and stuff.
Oh, okay. All right, but why do you have them? Oh, actually, I'll give you a treat. I'll give the podcast listeners a treat. 1 second.
Oh, okay.
I got something for you. Ready?
Right.
Oh my god, that was the hourglass.
Oh snap!
Oh no. Okay, but check this out. Ready? These are actually like little bongo drums that I actually got from Morocco. Pretty cool, right?
Nice. So we can
we'll
add it together to make some music. Man, I have no idea how to use this.
Yeah, terrible. Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Let me check it out.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. So,
oh no, we're good. It didn't break. It feels a little loose now, but it's okay. It didn't break.
Ooh, just like my Ritlock statue.
Oh, that is terrible. Oh no, it is really loose, Matt.
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to have a look at that after the podcast. I can't believe I just knocked that. Oh dear.
That's what happened to me, man. Like I was like moving something and like a pole, like kind of. I know, and
I totally judged you last podcast as well. I was like, what do you mean it's not broken? My Ritlock's fine. I just couldn't have done this.
Yeah, I could have told you that with if I had a statue. Yeah. So, but you know,
the saltiness.
The salt is real.
Thinly veiled.
I need some of that on my eggs. So 60 FPS, right? After we got sidetracked.
Yeah,
that's what you've been messing around because YouTube brung out the 60 FPS support only for Google Chrome, of course. Obviously, even though I don't use Google Chrome anymore because it started freezing on me a long time ago. But I wanted to kind of get into 60 FPS, but not using like DxStory or any of these programs because they just take so much space. And recently I've been doing Dragon Age, which are huge games, and they just fill my hard drive. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive dedicated for recording.
Yeah.
And it's just takes up so much space. And 60 FPS is just going to kill me. Shadow play, I don't know. It's very unpredictable, and I don't know if I could trust it. I tested a couple.
Well, has
it
ever died on you before?
Died? Well, no,
Yeah.
I didn't. I need to test it on long recordings and stuff like that. But I don't know. I rather use something separate, something like what you're using right now, which is the HD60, right? The Elgato.
Yeah,
There's 2 of them so far, just to give a foundation. There's 2 1080p 60 FPS consumer grade capture cards right now. There's the AverMedia, which is they're getting really bad reviews because of the 3.0 support
requires USB 3.0, which I don't have in the first place.
But also you have to have a certain chipset of the 3.0 USB support as well. Like it doesn't.
Really?
Yeah, and that's like the big problem.
If you have it though, is it a good card?
From what I've heard, yes. But that's mostly all the complaints is the 3.0 and Mac users complaining as well.
You're not a huge fan of AverMedia in the first place, right?
I use the AverMedia now. They tend to just leave their products. Like if it's not working and it's costing them too much time to fix it, they just leave it. And that's what they did with the Live Gamer HD. And I don't want to do that with the new one, the Extreme U3, which is the new one that they came out with. Even though I do want my 60 FPS, and you got the Elgato, so tell me, like, is it everything you dreamed of? Even though YouTube kind of poops on the quality.
No, well, see, that's the problem. The Elgato, for those that know about video editing and stuff, but because it's only USB 2.0, it's capped at the actual bit rate that it can record at. So you get 40 million if you max it out, and that's it. Okay, and so 40, I don't know. It looks perfect on my system, but if you've been watching any of my videos lately, every now and then when you watch them, there's like some weird like hazing, blurry, horribleness that comes over the videos, and I can't get rid of it at all. And I know that kind of stuff doesn't come up if you use other stuff like Fraps or DxStory, but my computer isn't good enough to record stuff at 60 frames, so I'm kind of using the Elgato now, even though it's not perfectly fit my needs, just because I spent the money on it, and it's like, okay. But the other thing is, I really wanted it to be able to record more Final Fantasy, and it doesn't work with PS3, because it's HDMI, and the HDMI signals have got HDCP on them, which is some stupid anti-piracy thing, so now I've had to spend more money to try and split that away, which is coming in a week. It's lame, dude. For the amount of time that I've spent with all these issues, and just trying to get this stuff to work, it's to not have a real payoff that I'm super happy about. It sucks.
Why don't you just return it and do the old way?
Because
it's still better than your
current. But it's still better. Yeah. So I'm gonna stick with it. It's going to be really weird when I finally get that splitter, because there's just going to be so many boxes and stuff and transformers that the freaking cable runs through before it finally gets to my TV. But in the end, if it works and it gives me better videos, then I'll be happy. It's one of those things that you really want to wholly dedicate yourself to for, in my opinion, for like a week, 2, even upwards of a month. Get it really sorted so that you're really happy with it. And then you can just like forget about it for like another year or whatever, and just know for a fact that everything you do from that point on is riding on the quality that you set up before. It's like you put enough time into the preparation, make it really good, and it will pay off continuously for you from then on. So I'm still in that mode at the moment, and I don't know. It's just been a bit lame. Me and both Matt and I were saying just before we recorded the podcast that it feels crazy that a whole week's gone. I don't know about for everyone listening, but Jesus.
Yeah.
It feels like Wednesday for me. You said it felt like you woke up yesterday and it was Monday morning.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Because all I've been doing is going heavy on like the reviews and stuff, and these games are so long, so I have to play through all of them and write stuff down. So I'm constantly wired. I wake up in the morning. I try not to drink coffee, even though I don't know, coffee doesn't really work on me. I wake up in the morning and I do what I gotta do throughout the whole day, and then my wife comes home and I'm like, oh, it's already like 6:00. Holy crap. Yeah. And that's why it's, especially doing this crap, what sucks doing this crap and not being able to like just be unstrict with what I eat, because recently I'm trying to cut down a little bit. It's so stressful, but I want to do that because I don't want to gain weight. So,
no cookies and cream smoothies for you at the moment then, no?
Oh no, nothing like that. Just like, I cut down on just too much, like using too much dressing, stuff like that. Like just trying to cut down on a lot of stuff because I don't really burn enough while humpering down and playing games all day. You know. So I just
could get it would be really good if you got like an exercise bike. I watch a lot of Rooster Teeth stuff, and one of the biggest guys there, Bernie Burns, for many years, eventually ended up losing tons of weight, and I have a lot of respect for him. But the only reason he lost that weight was because he got a treadmill, and whenever he went home at the end of the day to play games, he was just walking on the treadmill whenever he did it, and he had massive gains with that. It's like you don't really have to try anymore. You can still eat and shovel poop in your face, do whatever you want, as long as you're just constantly walking. And when you walking, it's not really even exercise, is it? If you think about it. I mean, if you're really unfit, it might feel bad, but if you're anywhere average, you're just walking.
Yeah, it's there's been days when you're like, man, I ate something really bad, and then, but you've been walking all day. It's because usually when people come to Georgia, they stay at the house or whatever in our little box, and we walk around the whole day because you're going to the aquarium and stuff like that. But we eat some bad-ish foods. I guess bad in my terms. I have very, very high standards. I guess when it comes down to what I put in my mouth sometimes I get crazy. Like the other day, my friend came down here and we went to go get some bun and cheese from the Jamaican store. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Some bun and cheese all the time.
And no, I don't. And
Dude,
of course we get a patty and cocoa bread because you guys know what the deal is. You guys know what the deal is. It's damn good. It's damn. I've actually been learning. I'm actually going to learn how to make spice bun. That would be pretty good. Or Easter bun is what people call it as well. But yeah. So, days like that. So,
yeah.
And then I don't gain weight because I'm walking around all day. So
yeah, it's funny because a lot of people go away on holiday and then they put on loads of weight and they come back and they're like, oh my god. But to me, it's like when I'm on holiday, I'm moving around so much. It doesn't even matter that you eat badly because you're constantly walking around, going to the beach, doing all this, swimming, hiking up mountains, seeing the sights, stuff like that. It's you're so active, you can just gorge yourself.
And that's also why I'm trying to cut down a little bit because when Thanksgiving come around, I'm gonna eat. I'm not gonna be I'm eating healthy. I'll just have
water.
I'll just have water. At my friend's place,
please.
she slaves all over the kitchen. I'm not gonna eat her food. I'm not gonna have some pumpkin pie. I'm not gonna have some cheesecake. I'm not gonna have any of that nice, awesome Dutch apple pie with little crumbs on the top. I have to eat these things, okay? I have to eat these things to be sane. Yeah, that's it's crazy. I lost all this weight. That stuff doesn't go away. I mean, good quality stuff. I'm not talking about like dollar store food. I'm talking about like good quality, home cook, yummy comfort food. That's the good stuff.
Do you want a room maybe?
A room with the food that I'm not gonna eat until Thanksgiving. Yeah, like that's the thing. And I can reward myself with those type of days because I stay consistent for so long. I mean, I've been losing weight for I've kind of gotten to the weight that I kind of like, but 2 years. 2 years I've been doing this and staying fit. So, not as fit as I can be because I can't necessarily, that's the thing, I can't necessarily exercise because I'll have an attack if I exercise. So that's why I have to do light things like walking. Walking won't cause an attack. So
have you ever considered doing the very low impact water, aerobics as your form of exercise? Do you often see a lot of old people doing? But I've always been interested in that.
I'm hairy though. Like I feel like I need to get this hair off of me. Yeah. Is there a proper way to shave?
Dude, I once waxed my chest. It feels pretty amazing, I gotta say, for that little while, and then it gets really itchy.
Wait a minute. You wax your chest?
No, just the once. But yeah.
You wax your chest, man? I gotta see this chest.
What? You were just talking about how you wanted to get rid of all the hair. Don't turn this around on me.
Snap a little pic. You know what I'm saying? Am I making you blush? Yeah, I feel like
good.
What is it painful?
Yeah, it's pretty painful. It depends.
What about the nipple? Like when they pull near the nipple, is it?
That wasn't actually so bad for me because it's pretty quick, right? It depends though.
Oof. I just thinking about it. My gosh. Just ripping up, like I can just imagine like ripping off.
But you'll feel so
nipple.
Smooth and feminine for the next few days.
Feeling feminine is pretty good, especially when you go to Bath and Body Works and get some of those really good smelling lotions. Yeah, I seek some from my wife. I'm not ashamed.
We've been a bit girly in these past two podcasts. Should we talk about beer and cars for a bit?
I don't even drink beer.
Do you know anything about cars? I don't know anything about
My friend does, and
all right,
he tells me everything I need to know.
Your friend then. Okay. All right, so what do you think of that new V6 engine?
There's nothing wrong with being feminine, man. Just let loose, man. Come out the closet a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Stretch out those legs. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
What do you mean? It's okay, dude.
So you wouldn't be weirded out to hear that I've been wearing high heels this whole time?
Nah, man.
No?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit because I wouldn't. I just now I just have this image of you with a shaved chest and high heels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. With
I
your
look
shirt
a bit
off.
like Coach McGurk in Home Movies when he dresses up as a lady. People who watch that show know what I'm talking about.
Amazing.
All trussed up. Yeah, out for the night.
But also what we've been watching is the Goonies.
Yeah, so you randomly picked this last podcast.
Yes.
Are you ready with next week's recommendation?
Yes. I want to watch.
All right, let's hear it.
We're gonna do another oldie. Have you seen Space Odyssey?
Space Odyssey?
Yeah.
No, I've not seen Space Odyssey. I thought you were going to say Space Balls then, which is a conversation we've had a few times before, and I have seen.
Yeah, that's why.
But Space Odyssey, I haven't seen. No. You want to do Space Odyssey?
We should do Space Odyssey. It's supposed to be like
defining
Interstellar type of movie.
Oh, whoa! How do you know stuff about Interstellar? Please don't spoil it for me. If you've been, have they been releasing a lot of information about it?
Isn't it already out?
Is it already out?
It's out today.
Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. It's out today. All right.
Yeah,
jeez.
I heard it's a little bit long-winded.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I don't want him to do a flop.
It's not an awesome spectacular. I watch Jeremy Johns a lot. I like that guy a lot.
Do you know
he's
what?
One of those YouTubers I would want to shake his hand and go out and get something to eat with, other than JonTron. Yeah.
Since we just mentioned Christopher Nolan and how he might have just made a flop, right? Do you know what I was pretty interested to learn today?
Oh, it's not a flop, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, but do you know any big movies you've heard about that have come out today? I'm highlighting this for you in the doc.
Other than Interstellar.
Not that's come out, but just news that they're being made.
Oh, so you did put that there. New movie announced. No,
Yeah,
I don't know. They announced it. It's not released today, right? It's just announced.
Yeah, it was just announced today.
What is it?
Pixar are doing Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I did hear it on Twitter.
How do you feel about that? I'm scared.
I'm a little bit scared as well because pretty much all of them were pretty tight, right? All of them were pretty
insane.
Tight. Yeah.
They were amazing. It's the one franchise that has, without a doubt, never dropped in quality from doing another sequel. And they did the sequels so far apart from one another, at least 2 and 3, that it felt like they weren't milking anything.
Yeah.
And now I'm just scared. And it's coming out in a while, 2017, so whatever, it's a few years from now, but still.
Oh, it's probably going to look really good. It's probably going to look really good.
What if it's bad?
I don't know, 3 years from now, you think they would kind of lay down the foundation for the story? And let it be good.
Well, no, not if the script is already done and whatever. I mean, these ideas, they only get greenlit after a script is already greenlit.
Right. But I'm pretty sure that...
I guess it could change and stuff if there's glaring issues.
Yeah. I mean, there's still... they have to work on it, you know, so...
Pixar already killed their like perfect reputation with Cars and Cars 2 and whatever. So
let's not talk about that. I didn't even bother watching it. I was like,
what if Toy Story 4 is Cars 2? All right, that's what I'm throwing out there.
Let's not. This
People
is what's
going to
be
happen.
Wondering. Toy Story 4 is going to be good. Star Wars is going to be good.
Yeah.
All these new
Marvel
films,
movies.
All these films.
Ant-Man
is going to be good.
Batman versus Superman. It's going to be good.
I just keep thinking about that guy's Lex Luthor. Social media as Lex Luthor. Zombieland as Lex Luthor. It's weird for me. I just hope he looks more grown up because he looks like a little kid to me. And this is old. This is like way down the line. The fight with Superman and Batman. This is not a young Batman and young Superman. This is after history. From what I know about the comics.
It's not the same world though as Nolan's trilogy.
I guess you're right. I guess yeah. Somebody will correct me as they always do in the comment section below. But also another animated movie that I thought was going to be bad was How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Dude, what a movie! John Z did the
dude.
soundtrack. I know, it's great, isn't it?
Wow, me and my wife were watching it. We're like, oh, this is good. This is
I
good,
love
'cause
that song.
We really liked the first one. We really liked the first one, and I heard part 2 came out, but I was like, nope. This is not going to happen.
That, really. Yeah, I'm glad you finally watched it because it is a great film, isn't it? Do you know the thing is, right? The one bit that made me go, oh, they had a lot of flashy stuff and the big dragon battles and whatever, right? But the one bit that I was like, oh, that is cool, was when he first meets. When he first meets like the master tamer of the dragons or whatever. You remember they're flying through the sky, and then like this character pops out of the clouds riding on a dragon, just standing there all calm. Yeah. I thought the design of that character and the way that character moved, and it was insane.
It was
so graceful.
Dude,
I was like, Jesus.
same. Oh
that was
my
the best
gosh!
bit of
I was like, what is this? This is taking an interesting turn. Like
so awesome.
And the way that character acted, being separated from the world for so long, I thought was amazing. Very quirky and just like weird. I was like, this movie is good. And the comic relief kind of grew on me with the two guys liking the girl and stuff.
And she was like looking at their muscles and stuff. They felt, I've got to be honest, a little bit shoehorned in just because they were there in the in the previous one.
But it grew on me though. I'm not gonna lie. And what?
Yeah, I do.
What also grew on me? I gotta stop with these segues.
No, you're on fire. I complimented Matt about this before the podcast.
And because you complimented me, I decided to actually think about it. The Goonies. Did you know? I instantly recognized Mikey. I was like, the main character. I was like, oh my gosh, is that Samwise from the Lord of the Rings? Yes, it is. Yes.
What? No way.
Yes.
Oh my God, you just blew my mind. I had no idea.
And the brother is the guy from No Man, No Country, No Country, No Man. What was it? No Country for Old Men. There we go.
I did look up the ladies in it to see what they looked like when they were older.
Yeah. I look up everybody, but yeah, I did as well. It's weird what you can get away with in the older movies.
Yeah. So what did you think of the Goonies? Was this your first time watching it?
Yes. Oh no. Well, I watched it years ago, but I don't remember. Much. When I was watching it, I do remember certain things. Like them going inside of the cave and them finding the treasure and stuff like that. I do remember those little pieces when I was young, but I don't remember like why they were doing it or anything like that. I was a kid. This time around, this is a very aged film.
No, right? I warn you now. Don't say anything bad about this film because there's a lot of people who are incredibly nostalgic about it.
Yes, I know.
Right.
I know. But there's some things that were cringy.
Oh.
But it really didn't matter. Like I had a big smile on my face throughout the entire film. I just enjoyed how like the characters were like fumbling all over each other. Like the kids were just like,
it's like Home Alone, the villains, right? It was literally the same bumbling kind of slapsticky falling around.
Yeah, like it almost seems like they didn't even have lines, and sometimes it seemed like they had lines. I don't know if that makes sense. Like obviously sometimes they were like, oh, I'm gonna say this, but there was like the Chuck, the big kid. Oh my gosh, when he was like bumbling about all the stuff he used to do back in the day, like it was just so enjoyable to watch. It's so enjoyable to watch, even though it's dated, So there is gonna be some issues. You're gonna realize that audio was recorded after the fact.
I had to watch it with subtitles on.
Huh? Say it.
The movie, I had to watch the movie with subtitles on.
Oh, because Data?
Not Data, but yeah, he was pretty slurred, you got to be honest. But then I got about 5 minutes in and I was like, right, I'm missing enough words here that I may as well turn subtitles on because I get way more out of the movie. Some of it was just so difficult to hear.
Definitely. Well, especially when they were fumbling all over each other. They were just
Did you notice
screaming
as well?
and they were loud. And I don't know. It was kind of amusing. A little bit.
All right, this is what I'd say, all right?
Yeah.
And I preface this, okay? I liked the movie too. I thought it was cool. I think I'd probably like it a lot more if I grew up with the movie or whatever, and this is a huge fan favorite for a lot of people. But I will say, and tying into the audio sounded like kind of messy at times.
Yeah.
I think the movie in general was just a bit messy. Like there was so much going on in the movie, like the whole bit about like oh, they're gonna kiss, and then she kisses the kid instead, and then
that would that's what I said. They get away with a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff back in the day, it seems.
And like saying that there was like a sex torture chamber. I didn't know who the movie was for. It felt like a kid's movie, but then it also had like, it was talking about like really early on, like crack and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, what is this?
Kids were cursing, like.
There's a lot of swearing. I was like, so who was it for? Do you even know? Like,
no, I don't think it was. I guess back then, it was okay for kids, but.
I don't know.
I don't think it was.
It's only 85.
I don't know how when kids be the main characters of a film, it'd be not for kids. It's weird. I wonder what it was rated, or did they even have ratings back in the days?
This is only 1985. It was not that long ago. The thing is, like, there was a lot of stuff too with like the big like Rube Goldberg machines and all the gadgets and stuff that the one kid Data had on him, and just the overall story of this kind of happy story. We're going for the treasure kind of thing. This is all kids movie stuff, but then it has
it's for family
adult content.
Adventure family, adventure comedy family, and it's rated PG.
That was a PG.
What? Back in the day, they used to get away with a lot of stuff, man. I'm just saying, like a lot of stuff. Because PG nowadays, it's so weird that back in the days, people didn't care. But now, since the internet came to be, like everyone cares about everything. You can't say anything bad about this. You can't say anything bad about that. You can't have certain things in your films anymore. You can't make certain jokes. And I don't know, there's a reason why my comedy, and I do a lot of racist comedy and stuff like that. Because
racist comedy is very lowbrow.
No
one's going to be insulted.
I grew up on Dave Chappelle and Family Guy and
Key and Peele.
The Simpsons. All those animated films, and I grew up on that. Like, that's what I think is funny. I enjoy Key and Peele.
Are you saying that The Simpsons is racist, Matt?
No. No. Not all my comedy is racist. Even though there has been a growth spurt recently in the reviews, but that's just because racism was in the game. That is my excuse for Dragon Age, the Dragon Age joke. But yeah, I don't. It's. I guess back in the days people didn't care as much, or there was no such thing as hipsters and all this type of craziness.
Overall, though, I mean, what do we have to say about it? I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool movie. It was what I was looking to watch last week when it turned abruptly into a Holocaust movie. This was a fun film. It was kind of cool as well to see like all the references that Guild Wars 2's had. Like, I didn't know Slick Shoes was a reference to this movie. I knew that one of the jumping puzzles was. I knew because everyone screamed at me when I did a video on it once. And they were like, oh, how did you miss the Goonies reference? Just like, I haven't watched the Goonies.
Yeah. It's... I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. This time around, I was more positive around it.
You like a movie?
Hey, listen.
Wow.
Listen.
But what about the terrible CGI? And that actress, she couldn't act. I'll tell you who they should have had in it. Megan Fox. I know that she was probably like 4 when this came out, or whatever. But she could have done a better job, right? Like, Jesus. She was not convincing to me as a teenage girl that was only interested in boys.
All right, so... so, riddles? All
right, who's in charge of the riddles this week?
I thought you were.
Why you were in charge
also
last week?
Movie Club is Space
right.
Odyssey, right?
Yeah, we
confirmed?
Yeah.
Confirmed? Okay.
All right, now I'm going to give you one, and I'm not patronizing you here or anything, okay? Mm-hmm. But it's on Riddles for Kids. And the reason I've gone to Riddles for Kids is because it came up when I typed Riddles on Google, okay? I can be bothered to move my hand over the mouse, right?
The research involved is
okay.
Fantastic.
All right, so riddle me this, riddle me that. Mm-hmm. What has a foot but no legs?
God,
I regret giving you this. I regret giving you this so badly.
Why?
Because it's just stupid. What has a foot but no legs?
A foot?
With this, think literally about a creature in the world that has no legs but does have a foot, or something that resembles a foot.
Man, I'm drawing a blank, and I'd rather not have like the podcast another hour long of me thinking.
Think of really, really small.
As a foot? Like, I can't think of any.
It's not actually a foot. It doesn't actually have a foot.
Right.
It just looks
there's
like
some
a foot.
shape on him that's a foot or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't. Or some nameplate. I don't know.
I'll give you another clue. It leaves goo behind it where it moves around.
Oh, but no way. You're talking about like a snail?
A snail. There you go.
I thought
Genius.
about that like the first thing, but I thought it wasn't a foot. Like, I guess it could look like a foot, but.
All right, I'll give you another one then. That's more in the spirit of the podcast. All right.
The first thing I thought of was like snakes and snails. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this one's more in spirit of the podcast, right?
Yeah.
I'm tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old. What am I? In the spirit of the podcast. Something we've talked about on the podcast on occasion. I'm tall when I'm young, and short when I'm old. What am I?
Tall.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm young.
Yep. So very, very tall is a young thing.
And
when it's really old, it's really short. It may even cease to exist when it's old enough. Think about that.
Let me think about a song. I have a candle.
Baby!
Really bad. Yeah, candle. Wow, that took me a while. I thought I wasn't going to get that. I really thought I was going to get that. But then when you mentioned it on the podcast, I was like, what are the main things that our podcast is known for?
I love that you answered the question through the medium of song as well, thus fulfilling what I promised everyone earlier on. Amazing. That you would sing.
Yeah, I didn't choke at all.
No, you did it really, really well.
All right. Question time.
All right. We mean question time. We've been running over. So the question for this week.
Crap. I thought it was.
Is from Richarda, who says, Matt. Well, this is a good question as well. Matt, why don't you want to talk about Gamergate? I so want to hear WP's take on it. So, I put this question in here because I did kind of want to talk about it. Do you want to throw anything out there before I say my little thing?
Well, it's not me only. It's we both don't care to talk about it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So literally that's it. We joke about it, but to be honest, I don't think. Well, certainly, I don't really care. You know, I just think it's just people discussing things that may be important. But I don't see really being that warranted.
All right, let's because people don't really hear our conversations when we're off the air. So let's lay down the foundation, because people think when we don't care, they think that we don't care about the subjects that they're talking about at all. Like, we don't care about women being misrepresented in games and stuff like that. No, it's not that we don't care about those things. It's just that we feel like Gamersgate is just something we'd rather just not go into. Like, it's like this stuff has been there for all along, and
I'll be honest, I'll say I don't care that much. I don't care, man. I don't look it up. It bores me.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's just like,
it's
why argue about these things? Like, I don't know. Like, I get it. Like why hate on like Anita, for instance? Like, why? Like, it's just like everyone has an opinion about stuff. Since when does Anita have to be like? When does like anything like that? Like, I'm using as Anita as an example. Like, she has an opinion about that. Let her think that way. It's the same thing where people think that gay people shouldn't be married, or any big subject like that. Like, people have opinions. Like, when does it matter? When does it matter so much? You know? Yeah, it does matter when, when the media portrays gamers a certain way, as, bomb threats and all that type of stuff that's been going on with Gamersgate. And that's a result of it. And I just rather why even look that stuff up? Why even care? Like, I don't.
It's just the way that things will go. If people don't support the websites that they don't like, then ultimately they'll get less views, they'll be less successful. And if people do support websites that are showing and things that they think are more honorable and are more representative of video games themselves, then that's what'll happen, you know. And that's really where I think that it ends. I mean, yes, I do think that these things are important. I just don't think the discussion about them is important right now.
There we go. You
speak louder with your actions than just constantly going in circles about stuff that's not really news, you know. To me, anyway.
Yeah. That's basically it. That's basically it. It's weird. It's weird to see like Total Biscuit, like he's like heading the chart, like he's like the guy from Braveheart, like he's just like, yeah, we're gonna pick up your pitchforks and tell Kotaku to do this and do that and blah blah. I was like, jeez, he's really like getting into this stuff, and you can see like a bunch of his SoundCloud files with him talking about it, and I'm like, I'm interested in it. Like I listen to some of the stuff, but like I don't know, like no.
I'm interested more for the controversy than the thought that anything will actually change. That's my honest opinion.
Exactly. It's the same thing where, you know, there's a reason why. I think I was talking about this last week. The reason why the whole saving a woman trope, right? Where you're the big burly guy and you save a woman. It's because that is a male fantasy. It sells copies because back then the majority of people playing games were guys, right? Well, at least that was depicted that way. Yeah, the perception. Because, you know, mostly geeky, for most part, most of the geeky girls I met back then, we used to play Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that, not necessarily video games, because it's like, oh, you don't buy video games for girls, you know, like most of them that were geeky, they were mostly into like comic books and stuff like that. From what I've seen, that's what I grew up with, and that's where I guess that perception comes from, where only guys play video games. But you know, now that's coming out like, oh, a lot, like there might be more women in video games now more than ever. But I'm not gonna do the thing that we do when we keep going from one subject to another. Not with this topic. Not with this topic. But yeah, like it's the same thing. It sells copies, and it's the same thing that you were saying. If you don't want that media to exist, you just stop watching and you stop giving them money. And you know, if people didn't buy the easy trope of having a burly man saving a woman, then they won't continue to make
things would change.
Actually, they'll make actually good stuff, like good storytelling, you know, around strong characters. And you know me, I love my strong women, and I've always said that. So like, and someone said, it's like, oh, they gave an example, but hopefully they didn't. I'm thinking that they're new to the podcast and they didn't know my opinion on the whole thing about women in video games, because he was giving a an example like, oh, if you like that whole women thing, blah blah blah. He was talking about all this feminist stuff.
Do you not think?
I wouldn't disagree with you. I wouldn't be angry with you. It would just be something that I put it in the back of my mind and move on and still listen to you guys. And that's why you guys wanted to hear our opinions on Gamergate. But for me, like really, I like strong women. I've always said that in the shows I watch, like in Castle, in Blacklist. You know, strong women that don't need to be saved. It's okay for a woman to be saved. I'm not saying that. I say I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me unless the character is just like stupid. Like, oh, the woman is always being captured and always being saved because the writers are just dumb. Like they don't know how to make a good storyline. You know, but it doesn't bother me that a woman's being saved. If that makes sense.
I've got a question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you not think that women should just not allowed to be in video games or play video games?
What type of question is that? Are you trying to... You obviously know the answer to that. That first of all, that would kind of suck just to see a bunch of guys. This is a sausage.
You don't
fest.
Like the sausage fest. You know?
Sausage fest games. No, I'm not a fan.
Damn.
I'm not a fan.
Controversial opinions here coming from MattVisual.
Yeah. I don't want a big sausage fest in all my games. Yeah. It's weird, and it goes into the same thing we were talking about with the Goonies, where it's stuff you could get away with when you're younger. You can't get away from that stuff. You can't like put whatever you want in a game now. You know, people call you out on it, like, oh, even though this is the story you want to put on the screen, no, you can't have overly sexualized guy, gay guy, or over sexualized woman, or blah blah blah. Like, people call you out on type of stuff like that, even though if it's part of the story or it's not, even if it's intentional or not, And I'm interested to play something like Bayonetta, which I feel like it's just too much fan service for me. But from what I've heard is that it's to the point that it doesn't matter. Like, it's what they were going for, which I don't know. It'll be interesting for me to have a take on that, because usually I don't really like that type of stuff. I don't really like just boobs in my face 24/7. I don't know. It's not my.
That is such a defining part of that franchise as well.
Yeah. It's because like her whole body is hair, right? And she takes and does moves and stuff like that, and you could barely see any of that when you're fighting. And I don't know. People make excuses for the game, and I don't want to hear excuses. This is what it is. She's constantly naked on the screen. Like, that's what it is. It's gonna be interesting when I play it. It's funny because I went over Super Bunny Hop's house to play this game a week ago, because he was like, "You need to play this game," and I'm like, "Okay," because I didn't care to play it. As soon as we about to start the game, his Xbox breaks.
It broke? Really? What?
It broke. As soon as I press start. Start, the cutscene loaded, broke. I wonder if that's a sign. I wonder if that's a sign. I find it hard to believe that it's not a sign. It's too convenient that when I press start and it loads the cutscene, all of a sudden it just like does this crazy graphic error. And then boom, done.
You think
dead.
The universe unloaded this massive inconvenience on Bunny Hop just so that it could give you a sign about that? He's sitting there grumbling away. God damn it. He's to repair his Xbox now.
Or it probably started working as soon as I left. Ooh, then that would be interesting.
I think the Xbox was haunted.
Yeah, there you go, guys. Hopefully I didn't talk in circles throughout that whole thing and got you annoyed. We will see you guys next week with another VisualWood.
Yeah, thank you, and remember, everybody buy Hawaii chairs.
Don't buy those.
My tip out there right now. Rick Lock wears no pants on a Hawaii chair.